Hello and welcome to StatLab StatCrunch videos. Today we're going to be talking about section 7.1, which is a hypothesis testing. Before I go ahead, I really have to recap on something very important. Remember how we do that? We first go ahead and write our claim, whatever our claim is, and then decide if that claim is H0 or HA. Everybody with me on this one? I hope so. And what is the hint for H0? H0 is something that has an equality symbol, like less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. What about H0? Sorry, HA, not equal to, less than, or greater than. Okay, so now having said that, let's go ahead and work on this problem here. Which problem am I looking at? Let me go ahead and okay, let's go ahead and look at this problem here. It says use the given statement to represent a claim, write its complement and state which is H0 and HA. Okay, so this is what they gave me. I'm going to go ahead and have the pen tool here. What they gave me is mu less than or equal to 472. I know the opposite of that, of less than or equal to, is greater than 472. So the opposite of this is less than or equal to is greater than. Again, so now I have to decide which is what. Mu is less than or equal to 472. So my H0, let me go ahead and write that here. I have mu is less than or equal to 472. And I have another complement of this, which is mu is greater than 472. And I have to decide, because this is my claim, you always write what your claim is. Now I have to decide which is my H0, which is my HA. So I'm looking at the first one here. I know by default this is my H0 because it contains an equality sign, and the complement is going to be HA. And that is your answer. Alright, moving on to the next one. Let's see which one I want to do. Okay, I am looking at problem number 10. Let's go ahead and do this. For the statement below, they ask you to write a mathematical statement, claim, state the null and alternative hypothesis, and identify which represents the claim. So I'm going to start from the beginning. A laptop manufacturer claims that the mean life of the battery for a certain model of laptop is less than 4 hours. So I know I have to start, I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, so he says the mean life of the battery is less than 4 hours, and that's what he claims. I'm just going to say claim. And I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, this doesn't have an equality sign, so this is not my H0. This has to be my HA. So my H0, or my null hypothesis, is exactly the opposite. Mu is greater than or equal to 4. Okay, so this is my claim, and the opposite is this. So the claim here is, let me go ahead and check which is my claim. Mu is less than 4 hours, which is right here. Okay, and now let's see what they ask us for next. So I'm going to go ahead and change this, check my answer, fantastic. And they say, now go ahead and give me the null and alternative. If you rewind back, we already have that null hypothesis. Okay, I have to change it to a pen tool. My null hypothesis is mu greater than or equal to 4, and my alternative hypothesis is mu less than 4. So if I see that, I'm going to go ahead and pick which one that is. Let's see. Less than. Good job. And now they ask me to identify the claim. So this is what they claimed. They claimed mu is less than 4, and that is my alternative hypothesis. Remember what I told you all. When you write, this is how you do it. You start with your claim. What did they claim? Mu is less than 4. That is my claim. That is my alternative hypothesis. Now I go back and write my null hypothesis. My null hypothesis is exactly the opposite, greater than or equal to 4. So in this case, my alternative is my claim. Do you see that? My alternative is my claim. So let me go ahead and check that. My alternative, mu less than 4, is my claim. Check answer. Good job. Alright, so let's move on to the next question. Not this. Okay. Type 1, Type 2 errors. Before I do that, I want to go ahead and write down what Type 1 and Type 2 errors are. Remember the shortcut we talked about in class? Type 1 is H0 and R. Type 2 is HA and FR, which is fail to reject. So you have to look for these words. The terminology is very important. In type 1, you have to find the word reject. In type 2, you have to find the word fail to reject. In type 1, you have to look for your H0. In type 2, you have to look for your HA. Okay, now let's go ahead and look at the problem. A local chess club claims that the length of time to play a game has a standard deviation of more than 14 minutes. So standard deviation of more than 14 minutes. That's what they're claiming. I look at it and I see this is not my H0 because it does not have an equality sign. This is my HA. And now my H0. My H0 is exactly the opposite. It is less than or equal to 14. So when you're looking for type 1 error, you will look for your H0 less than or equal to, your HA greater than 14. So let's go ahead and do that. I have to erase this because it does not let me use two tools at once. So I know type 1 will have the word reject. Type 2 will have fail to reject. If you rewind and see, my null hypothesis is less than or equal to. That's exactly what my null hypothesis is, less than or equal to. Type 1 should have null hypothesis, which is less than or equal to. Type 2 should have alternative hypothesis, which is greater than. There you go. All right, now moving on to problem 15. Determine whether the claim statement below represents the null hypothesis or alternative. If a hypothesis test is performed, how should you interpret the decisions? A. Reject null hypothesis or fail to reject null hypothesis. For this, I will have to go ahead and open up my notes and I'll have to scroll down all the way to making a decision. So let me go ahead and maximize this one for y'all. And I'm going to have this available while I do this. So let me go ahead and take a look at my assignment screen. Scientist claims that the mean incubation period for eggs of species of bird is at least 48 days. So the scientist claims that the mean incubation is at least, that means greater than or equal to 48 days. This is my claim. Oops, what's happening with my pen? This is my claim. And I see that my claim is my H0. So my HA would be less than, opposite of greater than or equal to is less than 48. Okay, so it's very important you see which is your claim. It's very, very important that, let me see, highlight. It's very important you know which is your claim. In my case, H0 is your claim. Probably in your case, HA is your claim. So now you might ask, how does this help? So once I know which is my claim, Oops, it's not letting me go there. Okay, probably have to. In my case, my H naught is my claim here. So this is my claim, H naught. This block is my claim. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand it in such a way that you can only see my H naught. Probably more. No, it's not working. Yes. So H naught is my claim. So this is the only verbiage I'm going to use. But if HA is your claim, you will not look at H naught. You only look at the column for HA. Okay. So I'm going to go back and look at my problem here. In my case, at least 48 days, that means greater than or equal to. So HA is my claim. Since the claim contains equality, it represents my null hypothesis. Okay? And they're asking me, how do you interpret this result? So what am I doing? I'm rejecting my null hypothesis. So I go back to my screen here and I see, I am rejecting my null hypothesis. That means I'm going to say there is enough evidence to reject the claim. I'm going to go back here. There is sufficient evidence to reject the claim. Very good. Now they're asking me, how do I interpret if I fail to reject the null hypothesis, which is exactly the second column. There is not enough evidence to reject the claim. So I'm going to go back here. There is insufficient evidence to reject the claim. Check answer. Very good. Okay, if you're confused, pause, go back and see. So let me go ahead and see if there's one more that has alternative. Okay, this one has alternative. I'm going to go ahead and write down here. A researcher claims that standard deviation, okay, so standard, oops, wrong tool. Standard deviation of a certain life of a certain lawnmower is more than 2.5 years. Okay, this is my claim. I don't know why my pen is not writing today, but anyway, this is 2.5, a big decimal here. And I'm looking at it and it says, okay, I do not see an equality sign, so this is definitely my HA. So do you see what just happened? This is my HA here. So my HA is my claim. In the previous case, H naught was my claim. I'll have to erase this one because it doesn't let me use the mouse. So in this case, my HA is the claim. In the previous case, H naught is the claim. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my screen here. In this case, HA is the claim. So this is what I'm going to be looking at. Okay, fair enough. Remember, HA is the claim. The claim does not contain inequality, so it's my alternative hypothesis. Very good. When my alternative hypothesis is my claim, I look at the second column. So if I'm rejecting, how do you interpret the results when you reject? So what is the verbiage that I use? There is enough evidence to support the claim. There is enough evidence to support the claim. Do you see the terminology here? Second one, there is insufficient evidence. There is not enough evidence to support the claim. There you go. Okay? Hope that helps. Let me see if there's any other problem that I want to do here. Problem 19. Okay. Let me go ahead and do this. The dean of a major university claims that the mean time, so I'm going to go ahead and write down the claim here. The mean time, which is the mean time for a student to earn master's degrees at most 31. So it is 3.1. So less than or equal to 3.1 years. So in my mind, this is my claim. As soon as you know what your claim is, you know you have to go ahead and write if that's a H naught or HA. So in this case, this is my, oops, my pen here today is not working. This is my H naught. Why? Because I see an equality sign. I'm going to go ahead and write my HA. Okay, I think I'm on the wrong tool, that's why. Oh, freehand. My HA is mu greater than 3.1 years. Okay? If a hypothesis test is performed, how should you interpret a decision that fails to reject the null hypothesis? And again, it's very important I know what my claim is. My claim is my null hypothesis. Okay, very good. I'll have to erase this one. My claim is my null hypothesis, and what am I doing? I'm failing to reject. So keep in mind, my claim is my null, so your claim is H naught. Oh, my pen, I'm so sorry. Okay, this is not, let's go ahead and do it here. For some reason, my pen's not working today. So my claim is my H naught, and I'm failing to reject. So I go right here. My claim is my H naught, and I'm failing to reject. So you see I use the first column, second row. So how do I interpret my results? There is not sufficient evidence to reject the claim. Go back and check. There is not enough evidence to reject the claim. Hope this helps.